Imagine walking into your village square one early morning and seeing the richest man you know, yes, the billionaire everyone fears and respects, lying fast asleep inside a dustbin. Surrounded by garbage, four women stood frozen, their hands on their heads, mouths wide open, unable to believe what their eyes were seeing. How could a man who owned mansions, fleets of cars, and businesses across the world be sleeping in fields like a beggar? What secret dragged him into the trash? Stay with me, because what you are about to hear will shake your soul. David Williams was not just a rich man. He was the kind of billionaire people only read about in newspapers. He drove cars worth millions. His houses stood taller than every other building in the city, and his name was feared even in government offices. People believed nothing could touch him. But behind his wealth, David carried a secret no one knew. It started years ago when he was just a young man. David's mother, before she died, warned him, "My son, never despise the poor. For one day, the poor may be the key to your survival." But David never listened. After his rise to power and money, he mocked the poor. He sacked workers without mercy, took lands from widows, and laughed whenever beggars begged at his mansion gates. Then something strange began to happen to him. At night, he could not sleep in his golden bed. His body would itch and sweat until morning. He tried doctors, pastors, and even traveled abroad, but nothing changed. Whenever he closed his eyes inside his mansion, he would hear whispers, "Your bed is not yours. Go to the dustbin." At first, David ignored it, but the whispers grew louder every night, until one evening, he could not fight it anymore. His legs carried him outside, past his guards, into the back of the village square, and there he lay down inside a dustbin filled with garbage, and for the first time in years, he slept peacefully. The women who saw him screamed in shock. What is a billionaire doing here? David Williams, sleeping in rubbish like a madman. Their voices shook the air, but David did not hear. His sleep was deep, his face calm, as if the dustbin had become his true bed. The secret behind his strange behavior will soon come out, and it will shook the whole world. The news spread across the village like wildfire. David Williams, the billionaire, is sleeping in the dustbin. Children ran to peep. Elders shook their heads, and the women who first saw him could not stop whispering in fear. But there was more to the story than just what their eyes saw. That night, while David slept in the trash, he had a dream. In the dream, his late mother appeared. She stood tall, dressed in white, her face full of sadness. She spoke softly, but with power. "David, my son, the wealth you carry is cursed. You took lands from the poor, cheated widows, and mocked the helpless. You thought your money could silence pain, but it cannot silence judgment. This dustbin is the only place your soul find peace, because you treated people like trash. Until you humble yourself, this will be your bed." David woke up shaking, sweat covering his face. He could still hear his mother's voice echoing, "Humble yourself or you will lose everything." For the first time in his life, David felt powerless. He returned to his mansion, but again, his golden bed rejected him. He rolled and turned until midnight, then found himself walking back to the village dustbin, lying down among wastes like a broken man. The villagers began to talk. Some said he has run mad. Others whispered, "This is the land of God." Business partners started pulling away. Banks questioned his sanity. Journalists came to capture the shame of the mighty billionaire sleeping in fields. And yet, David himself could not fight it. Every night, he found peace only in the dustbin. One evening, a poor old widow named Grace, whom David had once driven away from her land, came and saw him lying in garbage. With tears in her eyes, she said, "David Williams, do you remember me? You threw me out of my land because I could not pay rent. You mocked me and called me a beggar. Now look where you are. Your palace bed rejects you, and the dustbin is your comfort. David broke down in tears. For the first time, he cried like a child. He begged, Mother Grace, forgive me. Forgive all my pride. Forgive my wickedness. I did not know the poor carry power. The villagers stood around, silent, shocked to see a billionaire on his knees in front of a poor widow. The secret of David Williams was finally clear. His wealth was a prison, and only humility could set him free. From that day, David Williams began a new journey. He sold some of his expensive cars and used the money to build homes for widows. He returned the land he had stolen from the poor. He started schools for orphans and hospitals for the sick. The more he humbled himself, the more the strange voice in his sleep faded. Slowly, his golden bed accepted him again, but David never forgot the dustbin. Sometimes he would visit it and stand there silently, remembering where pride once threw him. His story became a warning to everyone. No matter how high you rise in life, never look down on others. Wealth without humility is just another form of garbage. Moral lessons. Pride leads to downfall, no matter how rich or powerful you are. 2. The poor should never be despised. The person you mock today may hold the key to your peace tomorrow. 3. True wealth is kindness. The richest people are not those with money, but those with compassion. 4. Humility brings freedom. When David humbled himself, his curse was broken. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching this story to the very end. Stories like this carry deep life lessons that we must never forget. Please, if you enjoyed this story, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video and share it with your friends and family. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What lesson did you learn from David's story? Don't forget to stay with this channel because more powerful and life-changing stories are coming your way. Your support means everything. Stick with us and together we will grow into a strong storytelling family.